What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Mom and Papa Joe. Today on the menu is a jerk pork belly. Out of all those jerk videos I've done, I've never thought about doing a pork belly. But thanks to my man Jay from Buzz Barbecue for giving me the idea. We started this process a day and a half ago, and we're going to get you caught up to where we are right now. Let's go. So here's our pork belly, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in just a little over 3.5 pounds. And what I've already started doing before we marinate is just poking a bunch of little holes in here. It's not important how deep you go, the deeper the better, as a matter of fact, because we're going to try to get this jerk marinade, jerk seasoning deep in this piece of meat. So I'm doing both sides. Now I'm going to come back, maybe scoring it about halfway through. So now, folks, what we've done is created all this surface area for this marinade and seasoning to get into. Let's get right at it. So the first thing I'm going to be using is my Beta Pack Jamaican jerk seasoning. I bought this last year while we were in Jamaica. And man, we're going to pack this on here and we're going to rub this in. Oh, here we go. Here. Woo-wee. And now what I've got here is my homemade jerk marinade. I will put a link to this recipe in the description. Flavorful. It's got everything a Walker's Wood has. Just spoon that over and rub that in. All those holes that we created, the hope is that this marinade is going to seep down into those holes and get deep within that meat overnight. Folks, I think we got that, man. Look at all that surface area we created, all of it just covered in this marinade. So we're gonna cover this with some saran wrap and we're gonna give this an overnight. So we started this process a day and a half ago, like I said in the intro. And man, it's just been sitting there really soaking up the jerk seasoning as well as the marinade. The only thing I'm going to do, this has been out the fridge for about an hour or so, coming to room temperature. I'm just going to refresh a little bit of our Beta Pack jerk seasoning. And we're going to head outside and get our expert grill going. All right, folks, our fire is ready to go, man. We've got our 2 baskets filled with cowboy hardwood lump and a combination of briquettes. I've got here some apple chunks. Apple, they said, is just about the closest thing to pimento wood if you're trying to do a little jerk. So I'm going to go with some apple, a couple of small pieces. I'm going to be placing my rack. That pan is only there to catch some juices, prevent massive cleanup. And I'm going to come right in with our belly. We're going to go fat down. And before I close that, I'm going to drop in some pimento berries just to get a little quick smoke before this pork belly warms up. Let's get it shut down before we get too much flame. Oh, I can already smell those pimento berries. See you back here in about an hour or so. All right, let's make a quick, simple mop for this pork belly. I'm going to go with 1 teaspoon of my beta pack. And I'm just going to go with maybe a half a cup of beer of your choice. If you got Red Stripe, that would be perfect. And I'm just going to warm this up because I don't want anything cold going on the pork. All right, we are at an hour. And I definitely want to check this bottom, man. Make sure we're not going, nope, we're looking good. Oh, this smells so good. Add a little moisture with that beer and jerk seasoning. And we're going to let this go another hour. And I think then we'll come back and we'll flip it. Looking good. All right, we're at the 2-hour mark. Oh, baby. We are banging, looking good. So we're going to give this a flip, but not before I go ahead and just baste this top side. And while we're flipped, it might only be a half an hour or so. Oh, man. All right, we had a little sticking going on, but man, that's looking good. All right, I'm going to come back out here in about a half an hour and get this back fat side down. All right, folks, 2.5 hours. And I'm going to get a temp in one of the thick areas. That's 186. Ooh, this thinner area closer to 200. Folks, we are where we need to be. I'm going to hit this one last time. Then I'm going to flip. And we'll go maybe another 10 minutes or so. And she's just feeling so floppy that I'm going to use my big spatula. Wow. Oh yeah. And we'll give this another 10, maybe 15 minutes. All right, so I've given this another 15 minutes. And here's my plan, folks. I want to take this inside and I'm going to slice this into strips, bring it back, and just quickly grill it to render a little bit of this fat. So, folks, here we are, man. I'm here to tell you that this is just, like, this piece does not really need it, but then I've got some thicker pieces with just a little bit more fat than I want. So I'm just going to place those over. Oh, gosh, this is going to be delicious. All right, folks, I'm seeing flames. All right, I've been rotating these. I don't want anything to burn. Look, this is what I'm talking about right there. Just that little bit of rendering is what I was looking for. So we're going to get these off and give these about 5 minutes to cool down, and we'll do our thing inside. Folks, I'm not going to lie to you. This is absolutely delicious. This is perfect. I've got a little piece that I hid in there that I cut off up already, man. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this is just so tender. Oh, look at that stringy, look at that juiciness in there. That marinade is through and through. Oh my goodness. That fat is well rendered. I've got some pickled habaneros as well as some jalapenos. Oh man, it goes so well. Absolutely delicious. You want to try this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you absolutely want to try this, man. This is off the charts good. I can't wait for Mama to get home so she can get a little bit of this. Wow. That was pretty easy, straightforward. I want to thank you guys and gals as usual for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe's. We absolutely appreciate it. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. In the meantime, we want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and you know the deal. We'll see you when we see you. Holla.